Okay, what are we doing? Right now I have a back end and I have a front end. Two separate screens. Okay, let's get this started. So this is the front end. So you can do npm, so I think this would run dev. Yep, so that's the front end got started. You can see that right there. Let's actually move all this stuff over here. Cool. And I need my back end started. This is where I built all the APIs. That looks like it's still loading up. There we go. So now we got a back end started, and it should be started on localhost 8080. There we go. Okay, so now I got front end, back end started, and we can see the app. Right now, the way the app is I can add my prompts. So I can say, how do you feel in this moment? Save that, go home, and I'm able to see that there. I'm able to add another prompt. What was the best part about today? Add this prompt, home. So now I have two prompts. Also, you can see that once I refresh, it's still there. That's because it's persistent in my database. H2, connect there. So you can see I have prompts here. These are the prompts. And then the user prompts are the responses. What happened there? User prompts. Oh, because I didn't have any user prompts yet. But what I want to show was that it's persistent. So the prompt is what we put in, and we see those prompts. So now we can put user prompts. How do you feel in this moment? Great. What was the best part about today? Finished. Completed. API development. Okay, now submit both of these. And that should have went to the API as well. So now we can search for user prompts. And now you can see that we completed API development. It's the best part of today, but I don't see the other one that should have ran as well. User prompt. It's not in the database. So let's see what happened when we go to our logs and check for today's date, which is February 2nd. You don't see anything, and that's because that's the API that we need to develop for today. But we should have seen this one going. So let me just put that one more time. Maybe I didn't press the button, so I'll just put great and check with the API prompt. Oh, user prompt. So this isn't even right. That needs to be fixed. It doesn't look, oh, I didn't put it to where I don't think I put it to where the prompts, the ID auto generates. I don't think, I may not have. I'll check into that, but I see what it's doing. And it should be doing that. So, let's look at some of the logs that I have going on for this one. Okay, so let's clear this and see what happens. Part about today, completed API development. And we'll submit that. And I got a log there, and I'll submit this, and I got a log there. And when I hit the database to check for the prompts, it should be both of them. But this just still says great. Why is that? Yep, this shouldn't say great. Let's see what happens. Do that. Does it update? Yeah, it just updates that. If I do this, And so it looks like the ID is not changing. And so that tells me that in my API, I may not have it updating. So in my API, we check the back end. This is the back end right here, Spring Boot. And I will check for the user prompts. And yes, it's not auto-generating. That's the issue. So I need to put an auto-generator on there. And I forgot how to do it. I'm not even gonna try to do it by memory. I think it's like, but I put one in my other entity, my prompt entity. So I just copy this and put that in my user prompt. And what is that? It's weird. Okay, so my sequence 2, my sequence 2. So now when I update this by pressing Control F9, so that reruns my server. And this should be nothing there because I just reran my server. So now when I hit prompt, I don't have any prompts. And when I hit user prompt, nothing's there. Now let's go back to our site and put this over here. When I put, well, I need to erase this, refresh, that's all gone now. So a new prompt. How do you feel in this moment? And I'll do another prompt. What was the best part about today? I'll go home. So now I have those prompts, and this should be in the prompts exactly there. So now you can see we still don't have any user prompts yet because of course there hasn't been anything put in. So you can do, how do you feel in this moment? Amazing. What was the best part about today? Completing API development. So I'm going to submit both of these. And just out of curiosity, I want to see my backend. My backend still logged all of those. So let's just make sure that the database got it. So now we can see that it's actually going. So anytime I do one, it should update. So what was another part about today? Fixed database or API bug. API bug. That, and now, oh, that's an issue. Huh. What this did was replaced it. So what happens, will this replace it if I hit refresh and put completed API development? Because I was thinking every time that I hit submit, it should have gave me a new ID. I hit submit on here. Huh. What is the issue now? That's kind of strange. So let's try that here too. How do you feel in this moment? Great. Hit submit on there. What is going on? Huh. So this is not updating. It's not giving me any more slack. Why is that? Every time. Let's try this too. Let's go to Postman. In Postman, I have another API. I think I can just type it here. Oh, you know what? No, that isn't the reason. I think it's localhost 8080/API/v1/ get prompts. So it's only showing 2 of them. It should also just show 2 here. Why is it only 2 though? That's my question. So just put in some junk. Refresh. Oh, those are just the prompts. Okay. Let's check my back end and see what's going on there. Why is this only going? So what's the issue? The issue is when I hit this API, like sending data here, submit, what should happen is it creates a new ID and adds that to the database. But what it's doing is it's using the same ID too. So if I do this, it's probably going to use 2 again and just replace this bottom one. Just put Z's. So it's probably going to just put 2. Yeah, replace 2. ID of 2. So what about this one? Does this replace 2? So it doesn't replace, it only goes up to, oh, I may not be generating. Let's go back here. I think I know why. That sequence generator, allocation size. I think it has something to do with the sequence generator. Allocation size. What does allocation size do? The amount of increase by allocation sequence. Remember, initial value. The amount to increment. The amount to increment by. So you can increment by 1. There's initial value you can use that starts at 1. Is it because no? It's optional. The initial value is optional. Okay, so I don't even need the initial value. Allocation size. That's confusing. Let's see. Well, that has to work if prompt works, and prompt is using the same type of sequence. And I'm continuing to get a new ID every time I add a new prompt. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm getting new prompts there. And when I look at my database on that prompt, they match the ID matches the title, so that works because it's getting a new ID. So that tells me it probably has something to do with the front end and the data that it's sending. So let's look at what data the front end is sending. It's probably only sending at 1 number, and that's probably the issue. A static number, a number that's just set in there. So I'm going to go to add prompt. It's not add prompt, I believe it's home. And look for, it's not home. Okay, I need to find where I even put this stuff. So home is here, and on home there's a submit button. Well, there's a component, prompt component. So it's in the prompt component. So in the prompt component, what I'm sending should be this information, I believe. go back to that database. Yeah, it should be this information here. And my problem is the ID. This is the issue right here. This should not be sending an ID because the ID is auto-generated. So that needs to go away. Okay, so I'll save this, and now if I do something here, so I'll just refresh this, and once I do something here, best part about today, I fixed that bug, which hopefully that fixed it. So once I look at my user prompts again, you can see that it only did 1 and 2. That's because in JavaScript on my front end, it was looking at the length and then just giving an ID of that, whatever that length was. I think that's what it was doing, and I'm hoping that this fixed it. So you see, this is what we have now, and once I hit submit, I should hopefully have a new ID generated. And there we go, I fixed that bug. So now it'll just keep doing this. So even if I click the same one, it should generate the IDs 4, 5, and now we just have a bunch of these. Like I can keep reusing this one if I want to. What was the best part of the day? I fixed the bug. And another part of the best part of another day was I fixed another one. And I can submit that. And that's that. So I fixed that bug. I wasn't expecting that to be messed up. Things that I had to fix. Yeah, so I guess I will do another video in which I'm fixing the logs, because now that we are able to, put data in these things and get it in our database, I need another API that goes through this database and pulls up the logs based on the date, whatever day it is. So as you can see in the database, it tells you that today is the 2nd in February, the 2nd month in the year 2023. So I need to be able to use this to, I think I have one in here. So if I go to February 23rd, 2023, so this is what it's gonna do. This is just the hard-coded one I have. It's gonna look like this, and just pull up all the logs that I have for that particular date, 07, 13, 1989. But as of right now, the API, there is no API pulling the data for today's date, February 2nd, 2023. And that's why nothing's coming up here. So in another video, I will be showing how I go about doing that. I need to develop the API and hook it up to the front end, and I'll do that in another video.